Yo, what's going on YouTube? This is your boy Riddy, and I'm back for another vlog. My apologies for the voice today. it's I'm actually homesick. Had a sore throat start up yesterday, and it's just gotten worse. But I said that there's something that I've been thinking about now for probably the past couple weeks. So I'm just gonna go ahead and I just decided to record a quick video. I'm not gonna do any fancy editing or nothing like that for this. I'm just gonna talk and then do a quick, you know, introduction, animation for the vlog, and then just display the rest of the video. But yeah, I don't know. A lot of people say the phrase that life is precious. You hear that all the time, and I mean, it's said so much that it kind of just becomes cliche, you know. But in light of a lot of things that have happened recently, I've just been thinking about it more, right? And how apt and how accurate that phrase really is. Basically, if you've been, watching the news and everything, you've been hearing probably the past couple months of a lot of airplanes disappearing or crashing, that sort of thing. Literally just hundreds of lives just gone, right? Gone. It's not very often, especially if it's a serious plane crash, that anybody really survives. Even here in Nova Scotia, just last week, I believe, or week before last, there was actually a crash land at the airport here, which is something that hardly ever happens. And I'm talking about modern planes. This was an Airbus A320, Air Canada, came in bad weather, clipped one of the radar antennas, and ended up crash landing on the runway. Luckily in this case, everybody was able to walk away from it fairly unscathed. But that stuff's been happening a lot recently, and just every day, people are getting in accidents, or they're getting sick, or some people just passing away for no reason. And for me, one thing that really had me thinking about it was actually somebody that I went to university with a little while back. Her name was Tamaz. She actually started the year that I was leaving, I believe. So she was a fair bit younger than me. And I don't know, man. I'm on Facebook, and it wasn't too long ago, last year sometime. She wasn't really posting, but she came on Facebook, and she kind of made it public that she'd been fighting cancer. She had a brain tumor, and she had managed to kind of pull through the worst of it, and she was getting better and everything. And it kind of blew me away when I heard it. It's not that she was like a really, really good friend of mine or anything. I mean, we spoke often. Out here in Nova Scotia, it's not a lot of people. Well, it's not a lot of black people, let's put it that way. Very low black demographic. And at the university that we went to, which is also a small university, out of the 4,000 students there, 4,000, 5,000, I believe, I think only maybe a few hundred of them were black students. So we were all fairly, we all knew each other fairly intimately. Well, that's a bad word. I don't know about intimately, but we knew each other one way or another. We interacted a fair amount. So, I mean, she was somebody that I always saw around, and she was a part of the Caribbean Club as well. So we did a lot of things together, and she was just like a genuinely nice person. You know, I always said that about it. Anybody that you spoke to, they'd said the same thing about it. And so, kind of coming forward to now, uh, probably last week or week before last, somebody sent out a message saying that, you know, she's back in the hospital now, and she's not doing too well, but, you know, they're going to pray that she gets through, you know, and they put up a donation page for her, and they were throwing events for her to raise money and that sort of thing. And not too long after that, you heard that she passed away. And she was only 24, you know? And it just makes me think that, um, I don't know, it's just strange that genuinely good people, um, some of them they just die, you know, just way before their time. And I know, I mean, if you like are a Christian, whatever, it's common belief that, you know, if you pass away, you know, that was God's will for it to happen at that time. But you still can't help but wonder, you know, why a lot of good people tend to leave this earth what seems prematurely, and, you know, evil people tend to have that battery that goes on and on and on. And, you know, they're still around wreaking havoc, you know, to everybody else. It's kind of weird, but I don't know. Like, I was just thinking about just the fact that she passed away so early on in life. You know, she had, you know, years ahead of her, didn't have a chance to have a family or kids of her own, anything like that. You know, and it made me think that, you know, I believe in life. Well, life is precious, and you shouldn't waste it. Don't waste it. You know. Now, when I say don't waste it, I'm not saying, you know, go out there and be as adventurous as ever, and, you know, try to experience everything there is to experience in life. No, not. I don't mean like that. I mean, if you are happy, you know, watching paint dry on the wall, if that's your thing, and that's what makes you happy, then by all means, go ahead and do that. And I'll be happy for you because you get enjoyment out of that. That's fine. But what I mean is, I think that, you know, for me, there's three simple rules that I live by, and I try to practice it on a daily basis. One of them is to treat people right. The second is to be honest. And the third is to avoid drama. So if you can, don't get involved in it. I know there's some people that seek it out, you know, or some people that just put themselves in situations where that they get involved in all that. You know, got a guy who's a good friend of mine, but has the worst judgment when it comes to women. Always cheating on his girlfriends, always getting himself in weird situations with females, and just in general, he's the kind of person who, like, he doesn't really tell the truth. You never really know when he's telling the truth. And I don't know how he lives like that. I'm not saying, as I said, I think he's a good friend of mine. You know, we guys hung out all the time. I think he was a great person to me, you know, but, and to his friends, you know, the same way. But when it came to that situation, when it comes to girls and relationships, he's terrible, and it's always getting himself into these horrible situations, you know. I just can't live like that, man. I feel like, sorry about that bit. I totally forgot to erase the images on the camera before I started talking, but not the images, the other videos. But yeah, as I said, I don't really know how people live like that. And for me, I try my best to be just a genuinely, like, a good person, you know. Try to treat people how you want to be treated, you know. Don't try to do things really expecting anything in return. Just do stuff because do something for somebody because it's the right thing to do, you know. And I mean, if you don't want to do it, or if you can't do it, just let them know, you know? Simple as that. Now, I mean, I'm not saying that I'm 100%, saint or whatever. I mean, it's when I get uncomfortable, I'm not gonna lie. I do. If I don't want to do something, be like, I got something else going on, so I'm not gonna be able to do it. I mean, I don't just come out and say I don't want to do it sometimes, you know. And I mean, that's part of being human. But in general, 90%, 95% of the time, I try to be straightforward with people. I try to be honest with people, and I also don't like drama at all. A lot of times I'd rather not say anything and just extricate myself from the situation than to try to confront somebody and knowing that it's gonna just cause a lot of issues. I just step out of that situation. That I try to encourage other people to do that as well. People, let's say if people who are in bad relationships or they're dealing with somebody, don't wait until things really start going down the tubes before you actually decide to get out that situation, because by then it's already too late and you're already going to get hurt emotionally and worst case scenario even physically. Try your best to avoid that kind of drama, because at the end of the day you want to look back on life and be able to say that you affected people in a positive way, and that if I was to ask somebody, not even when you die, I'm talking about now, if I was to ask somebody, what do they think about you, you'd want them to be able to give a great positive account of you, I don't want to wait until I'm dead, because when you die, that's when everybody wants to say stuff good about you, no matter how bad you were. I want somebody to say something about me now. Dennis was a great person. Yeah, so just get my real name out. You want them to say he is a great person. Uh, he treated people properly, and he was an all-around great guy. And that's not. I'm not saying everybody is gonna like you, but at least make sure that they don't have anything bad to say about you. Or if they're gonna say something bad, let it not be something bad because of something that you did. Oh, he treated me like crap. Or he lied about me, blah blah blah. Just try and minimize that. It's gonna happen, but you want to try your hardest overall to be a good person. And I don't think it takes a lot of effort to treat people right and to treat people like human beings, to treat people with respect. And just enjoy your life. Whatever makes you happy, as long as it doesn't hurt other people, just enjoy life, man. Because as I said before, the title of this video, life is precious, and you don't want to say that you wasted it by being an idiot to other people or not doing anything or putting yourself in situations that make you happy as much as possible. So, I guess, I don't know. At the end of the day, R.I.P. to Tamez. I know for sure that she's one of those people who, if anybody had asked about her, because I heard people saying it all the time. She's an awesome person, and it's just terrible that she had to leave this earth, and she did. But the suffering's done, and she's in a better place now. And I'm just thankful for the way that she positively affect the people in her life. And, I'd want to make sure that that people would think the same way about me. You know what I mean? As I said, man, life is too short. You never know, you could be doing anything, you know, talking to your friends, getting something to eat, exercising, sleeping. The next thing you know,